Hello and welcome to today's MJ News Digest, April 25, 2021. How are you? Here are today's headlines. MJ, Sonic and Mario video goes viral. Paris Jackson horror story, Michael Jackson in India. Bad album, The Quiz. New Not Conscious podcast. And Wade dismissed. So our first story is from Comic Look. Is it Comic Look or Comic Book? Comic Look. And this is regarding the Mario, Sonic and Michael Jackson video that went viral on Twitter. So this is Sonic and Mario dancing to Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. At the time of writing this article, the video had amassed 7.5 million views. At the moment, it's up to 10.3 million. We'll have a look at it. 159,000 retweets, 739,000 likes, 3,200 comments, and on and on. It says if you haven't seen the video yet, it's just 9 seconds long and features two people dressed up as Sonic and Mario. I refuse to believe they're people dressed up. They are the real Sonic and Mario. Here we go. Let's have a look at this if you haven't seen it before. This is pretty good. Look at that moonwalk. And it's great to see Michael Jackson still being viral. He's in a viral video. Of course he should be. Okay, so from Inspired Traveller, this is American Horror Story Season 10 casts Paris Jackson. So, the 10th season of Ryan Murphy's series will feature the daughter of Michael Jackson, who will be joined by Macaulay Culkin. Is it Macaulay or Macaulay Culkin? Anyway, the daughter of the King of Pop will also be in the 10th season of American Horror Story. Ryan Murphy will feature Paris Jackson in a mysterious role about which nothing is known yet. The young American will be in the new season with Macaulay Culkin, one of Michael Jackson's godchildren, so it will become a particularly... Was he one of Michael Jackson's godchildren? Or was he the godfather of Paris? So it will become a particularly emotional reunion. Apparently Paris is going to, or could appear in the second part of what they think the series is going to be called Double Feature. It's going to be split into two parts. The first will happen in the sea and another will happen in the sand. Interesting. So Paris is obviously very busy at the moment. She's got her music career. She's just dropped the duet video with the Struts. She's continuing on with her modelling and now American Horror Story 10. And what happened to that film that she had shot where she was playing a lesbian Jesus? That was never released, was it? Okay, over onto Capital Extra. This is a quiz. I like a quiz and I'm going to play this as I'm recording. How well do you remember Michael Jackson's Bad? It's one of my favourite Michael albums, so I better get every single question right. Michael Jackson made another classic album after the 1982 release of Thriller. Bad was the follow-up album which fans had high expectations for, but MJ never disappointed with his music and delivered another album which debuted at #1 on the Billboard chart. So how well do you remember the album? Here we go. So what year was Michael Jackson's album Bad released? It was 1987. Let's go on to the next question. Okay, click there. What was the first single released from the album? Man in the Mirror or I Just Can't? Of course it was I Just Can't Stop Loving You. I love that song. Bad, you don't want to hear me sing. Bad was Michael Jackson's studio... what? Bad was Michael Jackson's... studio album? So was it the 4th or 7th? Well, if it was... solo, it wouldn't be the 4th, it would be the 3rd. So if it's including Motown, it wouldn't be the 4th. It must be... Would it be the 4th or would it be the 7th? No, there would have been more albums as a child from Motown, so I'm guessing I'm going to go with 7th. It's got to be the 7th. Next question. What film was promoted along Michael Jackson's Bad album? The Wiz or Moonwalker, the iconic Moonwalker? You know how much I love that film. Bad was Michael Jackson's final collaboration with co-producer Quincy Jones or Teddy Riley? Quincy Jones. Another advert. Oh dear, they're making their money out of this quiz. Bad was... that's the last question. The Bad Tour, which was Jackson's first solo world tour, grossed 125 million or 215 million. Well, considering this was 87, 88, 89, I want to go with 215, but I'll go with 125 million. Next question. Finish off the lyric. You're just a product of loveliness. I like the groove of your walk. Your talk, I'm full of interest, or your talk, your dress. Of course, it's that one. Annie, are you okay? Oh, another advert. Darnation. Our lyrics from what track on the album? Obviously, everyone knows that Smooth Criminal. That was such an easy question. How many tracks is on Michael Jackson's Bad album? That's grammatically incorrect, isn't it? 11 if you include the bonus Leave Me Alone. Michael Jackson's Bad album was released by which record label, Epic or Motown? It was Epic. Oh, we've done it. Good job. Share it proudly. 10 out of 10. Look at that. I bet you would have got exactly the same. I know most of you know far more about Michael Jackson than I do. I will link this in the description so you can give it a go yourself and maybe share it to your social medias. There's another quiz here. Only a true Michael Jackson fan will get 100% on this quiz. Our next story is from Assumed Tech, when Raj Thackeray was rumoured to marry Sonali but couldn't because... So this isn't technically about Michael Jackson, although it does come with a video about Michael Jackson because Michael Jackson is mentioned. So just for some background information, what a lovely pair they make. So it says Sonali Bendre was one of the most popular actresses in the 90s. The 46-year-old actress enjoyed a massive following back then and was extremely talented. Her beauty and her grace are what her fans loved the most about her. But besides her fans, there were rumours and reports about this person who adored Sonali. It was none other than Raj Thackeray. Back in the day, apparently Raj was madly in love with her. Let's get down to the Michael Jackson bit. Here we go. So, in fact, when the late pop king Michael Jackson came to India, it was this duo who received him at the airport. And then it goes on to say what the pair were dressed in. I'm not going to even try to pronounce some of those words because I always get it wrong. Anyway, here is a clip from the video of Michael Jackson appearing at the airport and being received by Raj Thackeray and Sonali Bendre. It's a nice video. As I said, I'll play a little bit of this, but link the whole thing in the description. Wow. Thank you very much. Assume Tech and Wild India was that? Anyway, so the second part of my podcast with Not Conscious regarding suicide is out now if you haven't heard it already. I hope you heard the first part in this series. We talked about suicide awareness and prevention and also how to deal with the guilt if we lose someone from suicide. In this, the second and final part, we share personal stories of those we've lost to suicide and also talk about our own suicidal ideation. Mark really digs deep and shares a very raw and emotional story about a dear friend that he lost to suicide. I do hope that you would give this a listen. I know it's not Michael Jackson related, but it's an important conversation. It's about time we demystified suicide. I will link the Spotify podcast link in the description below. Thank you for listening. Our next story is from Showbiz 411. Of course, it's the case against Michael Jackson brought by Wade Robson, tentatively dismissed by judge. And it says it was the basis of the Leaving Neverland documentary, although Leaving Neverland can never be classed as a documentary. It's a long article. I'm only going to read the first bit because it goes into some technical court gubbins. Los Angeles Superior Court Judge Mark A. Young has tentatively dismissed the last of the cases brought by choreographer, I'd hardly call him a choreographer, Wade Robson, against the estate of Michael Jackson. A final ruling will come after a hearing on April the 26th, which is tomorrow. Robson's cases against Jackson, his estate and companies were based on an out-of-left-field claim that he'd been sexually harassed and abused by Jackson when he was a child. But Robson had testified in Jackson's defence and continued to defend him. It was only in 2013, when Robson had been rejected by the estate, that he came out with these claims, and that was the basis of Leaving Neverland. It then goes on to talk about Jimmy Safechuck basically copying Robson, and then it says, keep refreshing as I add some points from the case, but as you read through the judge's decision, you'll see the words, no triable issue. The case has been essentially tossed. Now, as I said, I'm not going to read the rest of it, but it's worth a read if you haven't read this already. There's a lot of information here about the court proceedings and this tentative dismissal. Of course, we all knew that this was coming. So tomorrow is going to be a big day. I know there are plans to trend Michael Jackson worldwide, and as it should be. Our YouTube recommendation of the day is from the amazing The Beautiful Poem channel. I've highlighted plenty of their videos in the past. Amazing animation set to Michael's music. And this is obviously gearing up for tomorrow's announcement. This is Fans Are Always With You, Michael. I'll play a little bit of this because it does include the song Will You Be There? But I will link the full video in the description. Thank you once again, The Beautiful Poem. Amazing. And that's it for today's MJ News Digest. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I really do appreciate it. Please like, comment and subscribe because the best is yet to come.